Okay, so we've all heard of vitamin D, right? The sunshine vitamin. But what if I told you that on its own, it's, well, kind of incomplete? There's this crucial partner it absolutely needs to work properly. We're going to dive into the surprising teamwork that's totally essential for our health. And to really get why this teamwork matters, check this out. Think about the UAE. What comes to mind? Sunshine, right? Endless sunshine. Well, get this. Over 80% of the people living there are deficient in vitamin D. I mean, that's a wild statistic. 8 out of every 10 people. And this isn't just some weird local thing. It's a huge clue that points to a much bigger problem happening all over the world. So you'd think the answer is simple, right? Just take more vitamin D. But no, that's only half the story. It actually leads us to the real question. What on earth are we missing here? What's the critical piece of the puzzle?
And that's where we get into what I like to call the shadow side of the sunshine vitamin. You know, the part of the story that almost nobody talks about. Okay, let's start with what most of us already know. Vitamin D. It's all about helping us absorb calcium, which of course is the main building block for our bones. Super important. But that, my friends, is just chapter 1.
So to really understand this, we need to meet the main characters in this story. And first up, we have vitamin D3. So, I want you to think of vitamin D3 as a gatekeeper. Its whole job is to hang out at the entrance to your intestines and basically unlock the door. This lets all the calcium from the food you eat pass through and get into your bloodstream. Simple as that. No D3? That door stays shut. Locked tight.
But D3 is way more than just a one-trick pony. I mean, it is a serious multitasker. It's not just opening the calcium gate, it's also absolutely essential for keeping our immune system in check, helping with brain development, and it's a huge deal for maternal and infant health. It's a real powerhouse, for sure.
Okay, so D3 has done its job. The gate is open, calcium is flowing in. But right here, this is where we hit a really critical moment. The calcium is now in the bloodstream, but it's basically at a crossroads, and it needs directions.
Right, the gatekeeper let it in, but now what? Where does all that calcium go? And this is the moment where things can go really, really right or pretty wrong.
Because without proper direction, that calcium just floating around can end up in all the wrong places. Instead of going to your bones and teeth where you need it, it can start to deposit in your arteries, your kidneys, your soft tissues. This is something called vascular calcification, and trust me, it's a really serious problem for your heart and overall health.
And this image right here shows you exactly what's at stake. Look at the left. That's healthy, strong, dense bone. Now look at the right. That's bone with osteoporosis. It's full of holes, it's porous, it's weak. This is the perfect picture of what happens when calcium gets into the body, but never actually makes it to where it's supposed to go.
So, if D3 is our gatekeeper, who's the one directing all this traffic? Well, this is where our second hero makes its grand entrance. Meet vitamin K2.
Now hold on, it's really important to know we're talking about 2 different kinds of vitamin K. There's K1, which you find in stuff like spinach and kale. Its main gig is helping your blood clot. But we're talking about K2, especially the MK7 form you get from fermented foods. It has a totally different job, and it is a crucial one. It's basically the body's calcium traffic cop.
So how does it work? It's actually pretty cool. Your body has these proteins just kind of hanging around, like one called osteocalcin. And they're inactive, just waiting. Then vitamin K2 shows up and click. It flips a switch and activates them. And once they're activated, these proteins can literally grab onto calcium floating in your blood and physically escort it into your bones.
And this is what's so amazing about it. K2 has a 2-part job. It doesn't just tell calcium where to go, it also tells it where not to go. It activates another protein called MGP that basically works like a bouncer for your arteries, stopping calcium from building up where it could cause a lot of trouble.
So when you put all this together, what you get is a perfect partnership. This is what we mean by true synergy.
So let's recap. You've got vitamin D3, the gatekeeper. Its job is all about absorption. It gets the calcium into the bloodstream.
And then you've got vitamin K2, the traffic cop. Its job is all about distribution, telling that calcium exactly where to go, into the bones, and stay away from the arteries. And this teamwork is absolutely everything. Let's go back to that construction site analogy. D3 is the truck that delivers all the bricks, that's the calcium, to the site. But K2 is the foreman on the ground, telling the crew exactly where each and every brick needs to go. Without the foreman, you've just got a useless pile of bricks. But with the foreman, you build a strong, sturdy building.
In this case, that means strong bones and clean, healthy arteries. And this partnership is critical for everybody, but especially for growing kids, pregnant women, and for older folks who are trying to keep their bones strong.
So really, the big takeaway here is that it's not just about how much of one vitamin you're taking. It's about whether your vitamins are working together as a team. Which leaves me with one last question for you to think about. Are yours?